Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Om Vishnupad Parama Hamsa Parivijaka Charja Asto Tara Sata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Parama Hamsa Parivijaka Charja Asto Tara Sata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Srinamacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prayam Sikho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopadas Shaima Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale. Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi. Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Sanyavari Paschatadesha Tarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, good morning to all. Thank you for coming. So, we're in a new chapter. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 72, and we're going to do verse 4 today. So, Tvat paduke aviratam pariye charanti. Jayanti adadra abhadra nasane suchayo grinati. Vedantete kamalan naba bhava pavargam. Ashashate yarita asisa isha nanye. Tvat paduke abhiratam pariye charanti. Jayanti abhadra nasane suchayo srinati. Vidnanti te kamala nababava parvargam. Ashashate yarita asisha ishananye. Tvat paduke aviratam pariye charanti. Dhyayanti abhadra nasane suchayo grinate. Vidanti te kamalanaba bhava pavargam. Ashashate tad Asashtate yari tad ashisha isha nanye. Mothers? Anyone else? What your paduke slippers aviratam constantly pari fully ye who charanti serve dhyayanti meditate upon abhadra of inauspicious things nasane which cause the destruction suchaya purify grinanti and describe in other words. Vindanti, obtain. Te, they. Kamala, like a lotus. Nava, O you whose navel. Bhava, of material life. Apavargam, the cessation. Asas, ashat, ashash, ate, harbor desires. Yadi, if. Te, they. Ashishaha, attain the desired objects. Isa, O Lord. Na, not. Anye, other persons. Translation. Purified persons who constantly serve, meditate upon and glorify your shoes, which destroy everything inauspicious, are sure to obtain freedom from material existence. O lotus-naveled one, even if they desire something in this world, they obtain it, whereas others who do not take shelter of you are never satisfied, O Lord. Purport. Srila Prabhupada writes in this connection that liberated Krishna-conscious persons do not even desire to become freed from this material existence or to enjoy material opulences. Their desires are fulfilled by Krishna-conscious activities. As far as we, King Yudhisthira, are concerned, we are fully surrendered unto your lotus feet. And by your grace, we are so fortunate to see you personally. Therefore, naturally, we have no desire for material opulences. The verdict of the Vedic wisdom is that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I want to establish this fact, and I also want to show the world the difference between accepting you as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and accepting you as an ordinary, powerful, historical person. I wish to show the world that no one can attain the highest perfection of life simply by taking shelter. I wish to show the world that one can attain the highest perfection of life simply by taking shelter at your lotus feet, exactly as one can satisfy the branches, twigs, leaves, and flowers of an entire tree simply by watering the root. Thus, if one takes to Krishna consciousness, his life becomes fulfilled, both materially and spiritually. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur similarly explains King Yudhishthira's statement, quote, we feel no great urgency to perform the Rasyuja sacrifice, nor do we have any personal interest, since we are already seeing your lotus feet, and by your boundless mercy, we have been taken into your personal association. But in this world, there are some whose hearts are contaminated and who think you are not the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but an ordinary man. Or else they find fault with you and even criticize you. This is an arrow piercing our hearts. Therefore, to extract this arrow from our heart, we must call to this place on the pretext of Rasayuj, Brahma, Rudra, and other wise brahmacharis and demigods who reside in each of the 14 planetary systems. When such an exalted congregation has assembled, it will be incumbent upon them to first arrange for the Agra Puja, or the first worship for the most worthy person present. And when they are directly when they are directly shown that you, Lord Krishna, are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the arrow piercing our heart will be removed. Wow. So I'm going to read the translation and you can repeat. Purified persons who constantly serve, meditate upon, and glorify your shoes, which destroy everything inauspicious, are sure to obtain freedom from material existence. O lotus-naveled one, even if they desire something in this world, they obtain it. Whereas others, those who do not take shelter of you, are never satisfied, O Lord. So, we can see Maharaj Yudhisthira wants to establish the supremacy of Lord Krishna. Even at this time, when Krishna was on the planet, there were people who were doubtful. They're doubtful and they even may criticize. Who is this Krishna? Why, he always has so many pretty girls around him. Now, why do you think they would notice that? Why does that? They say if they criticize Krishna because he has the gopis, he's surrounded by Lakshmi's gopis, could that be that they might be a little envious? Otherwise, why would they care? I don't have so many girls around me. So this Krishna, he's no good. This isn't good. I'm good. You see? So they think like that. People criticize typically when there's some envy. If there's no envy and we find some fault, maybe we would encourage, right? You know, Prabhu, maybe you can do this a little better. Maybe that wasn't first class what you're doing. You see? So when there is criticism, that's malicious intent. We actually are desiring to do some harm. I'm criticizing. I want to destroy your reputation. I want the other people to see you lower than you are. So I'm pointing out that you have so many girls around you. I'm criticizing you. So this is going on like this. So Maharaj Yudhisthira is wanting to establish Krishna's true identity to everyone, beyond a doubt. This isn't some handsome man that has some talents. And maybe he has some money. Maybe he's rich. And he has so many queens. This isn't just someone for you to be envious of. This is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because people don't recognize that, I feel an arrow in my heart. It's great pain because of it. So this is Maharaj Yudhisthira's plea to Krishna. This is why I want to have this Rasayuja sacrifice. Why we're going to have Lord Brahma. We're going to have Lord Shiva, other demigods, great sages. They will be here, you see. And of course, when people come to an event this big, with this many important personalities, when they leave, they're going to tell everyone they know. Wow, I was just at this big Rasayuja sacrifice. Lord Shiva was there. Lord Brahma was there. So many sadhus, so many great personalities was there. Oh, really? What a wonderful event. Yes, and it was demonstrated for all that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And so it would be spread. People would be talking about it everywhere. Wow. Did you hear? Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So this is Maharaj Yudhisthira's desire. He wants to establish that fact because he feels pain that Krishna is not recognized as Krishna. He's just some mystic, you know, some trickery there that he has all of these women around him, you know. Well, he came to town with all these queens, and so we're envious. And uh, so the verse is very interesting. Purified persons who constantly serve, meditate upon, and glorify your shoes, which destroy everything inauspicious, are sure to obtain freedom from material existence. O lotus-naveled one. Wouldn't you like to see that navel of Krishna's, the lotus navel? Every time I read about that, I think, boy, I can't wait to see that again. I've seen it before, but I can't remember it. You know? Can you remember it? You saw it too, didn't you? You were there. Krishna was walking around. We had to notice it, right? So, but we can't remember. So, purified persons who constantly serve, meditate upon, and glorify your shoes. Isn't that interesting? His padukas, we worship, meditate upon his shoes, the place where he places his lotus feet. These people meditate on your shoes, and these shoes destroy everything inauspicious. So from time to time, we may get inauspiciousness in our life. Sometimes our mind, oftentimes, almost all the time, our mind is giving us a problem, right? It's like the mind wants to run here and it wants to run there. And you're trying to chant your rounds nicely, or you're trying to read. You ever had that problem when you're trying to read? And then you realize as you're reading the purport that you've stopped reading? You ever had that? And your mind has gone someplace else. And you think, wait a minute, I'm not even reading anymore. I'm just, how did I get thinking about this? So the mind has a tendency to do that. So if we do proper worship, proper puja, and it says here specifically to Krishna's shoes, that destroys anything and everything that's inauspicious, like the mind wandering. If we can do proper worship to Krishna, then the mind, these inauspicious things that are in the mind, should be destroyed and pushed out. They're replaced with auspiciousness, you see. So it's a constant battle for us to think properly. What is it that I should meditate on? Well, I should meditate on worshiping Lord Krishna's shoes. Does that make any sense? If it's being clearly stated here in the verse that if we worship the shoes, Lord Krishna's padukas, that will destroy anything inauspicious. Inauspicious things are destroyed by pushing them out and replacing them with auspicious. Auspicious things come in. inauspicious things go out. It's like if you pour water into a cup, first of all, the cup is full of air. I've asked people this before. How do you get all of the air out of the cup? Can you do that? Can you take all of the air out of this cup? Yeah, pour water in. If you pour water in, it pushes the air out. Now the air is gone, the water is there. So if we want to replace inauspicious things with auspicious things, we add the auspicious, and it pushes the inauspicious out. You see? Now we have to go looking for more inauspicious things to think about when we're reading or chanting, or call them back. Because sometimes it may seem like it's kind of fun, right? To think about these inauspicious things. And then we complain, oh no, I'm having this difficulty or that difficulty. But we actually went looking for it. Our mind is looking, you know. Like a dog, you see a dog sometimes sniffing on the ground. You know, he's looking for something to eat. And so our mind is like that. It's looking for something inauspicious. He wants me to read, but I don't want to read. I want to feel some fun. So this reading's not fun right now. Maybe I want to do something inauspicious. I need some inauspicious thoughts. That'll make me feel better. But it never does it? We end up thinking, oh, I wish I could control my mind better. So, and it's practice. We have to practice like this. As time goes on, we'll get better and better. The mind will get trained more and more. And the inauspicious thoughts may still try to invade, but you'll catch them early and push them out, you see. So what the verse is saying here is that we need to do proper worship of Lord Krishna. We need to do proper worship. So what is proper worship? What would you say? Going on the altar? That sounds like proper worship. But it's not limited to that, though, is it? What about seva? We have to become expert in our seva. Sometimes we become so caught up, our minds become so caught up in doing our seva better and better, that's all we can think about. Sometimes you probably have difficulty going to sleep at night because you're thinking of some project that you're working on for Guru and Krishna. And you may even tell your mind, look, I don't want to think about this right now because I need some sleep. I can work on this tomorrow. But then the mind says, no, I'm close to solving a big problem here. Have you had that? Sometimes I just have to get up. Have you ever had to do that? Even though it may be in the middle of the night and you woke up and you can't go back to sleep and you're thinking, your mind is now locked in. I have to be very careful when I wake up because old men have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night a lot. So I have to be very careful not to fully wake up, you see. So I have things arranged so I don't have to turn on any lights, you know. Trying my best to be able to lay back down and get asleep. Once in a while, though, my mind will wake up and some issue that I've been dealing with starts to become prominent in my thinking. Then I lay back down and I'm like, no, I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be able to go back to sleep. You know, does this happen to you? You know, so sometimes I just have to get up and work on it, think it through, turn on the light, let myself fully wake up. Sometimes I'll try to think about the problem, the issue that I'm thinking. And then sometimes once I think I've got that solved, I'll chant for a while, maybe read a little bit. And then I may feel like, okay, maybe I can go back to sleep. Finally back to sleep. So seva is replacing the inauspiciousness that otherwise would be in your mind. You see? It's not that you wake up thinking of some nonsense, some sense gratification. I mean, that's a lot easier to deal with. You can get rid of that. You can push that out of your mind easier than you can your seva, can't you? If you're thinking about your service, you're meditating on your service, that can be very difficult to push out of your mind. Whereas nonsense, you may say, oh, no, I don't want to think about this. This is garbage. How did this even get in my mind? But your seva, you want to actually embrace it. You may think, I know I shouldn't focus on this. I know I should be sleeping. But I think I'm close to figuring something out here. You see? So I'm willing to sacrifice some sleep for it. Does that make any sense? So Yudhishthira is, he's talking like that. This is very interesting. Even if they desire something in this world, they obtain it. Whereas others, those who do not take shelter of you, are never satisfied, O Lord. So even if the devotees desire something worldly, you may desire something worldly, something other than seva. Well, you'll get that too. Which means you need to be very careful what you desire. Especially the devotees. The devotees need to be very careful what they desire. This is a very potent thing that you have. This relationship that you have with Guru and Krishna, this is very potent. You have to be very careful. If you start desiring material things, you're going to get those. Krishna is going to treat you like a spoiled child. You know, he's not going to say, no, you can't have it. That's not his style. It's like, if you want that, then I'll make the arrangement. Now, wait a minute. Why would he do that? Even though it's not good for me. Why would he do that? Because this is training. He wants you to want only him. He wants you to get to the point to where you never want any of these worldly things. You only want Krishna. That's what he wants. This is his price that he's charging. This is the cost. I want you to want only me. And if you start wanting some nonsense thing, then I'll give that to you. It's going to cause you difficulty. You'll suffer from it. And then you'll come back trying to be a better devotee. This is training, you see. And it's also exercising your free will. Krishna is not taking away your free will. If you wanted some nonsense, something worldly, and Krishna said, no, you can't have it. Now he's controlling you. What's the value of controlled love? Forced love? What kind of taste do you think Krishna would have in that? And what could he get out of this forced love? He knows that he can overpower you. He doesn't have to prove that to himself. He knows he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he knows he can get you to do, he can force you to do anything. But that's not genuine love. He wants you to love him first and foremost all the time. Now, is that too much to ask? Huh? What do you think? Huh? It sounds like a lot, doesn't it? But he's just wanting you to be you. Because that's what you're designed to do, to want him and nothing else. Not to want him before everything else, to want him exclusively. That's the nature of love, true love. And that's your true nature. You, the Jivatma. We're not talking about the personality that we think we are. You see? No, we think that I'm American, I'm Englishman, I'm Indian, I'm Bengali, I'm Gujarati, I'm this, I'm that. I'm an engineer, whatever. You think that you're all these things that you're not. Temporarily, you're wearing that skin. What were you wearing what was your costume last time? Last birth, what were you? What were you wearing? What was your masquerade? Who was this personality that you're trying to present to the world last time? Why, I'm some big king? Or I'm a wealthy software engineer? Or whatever. I'm a soldier? Or maybe I'm just a dog. Bark, bark. The dog is proud of he's being a dog, isn't he? You ever walk past someone's yard that have a fence with a dog inside? And even though the dog may be only this big, here he comes and he's like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." Like he's really telling you, boy, you're in trouble now, you mess with me. And if you suddenly go, "Bah," the dog, he shows his true colors, right? We've been there. We've been that dog, haven't we? We've been that dog millions, billions of times. And the cat, and the squirrel, and the snake, and the mosquito, all of the 8,400,000 species. We've been there again and again. But we're not going to go back because we're on the right path. You see, we're performing the activities that'll save us from having to put on another costume and pretend to be something. We're so convinced that we are. The dog is convinced he's a dog. You can't preach to him. You can't say, "Oh, Mr. Dog, you're really not that body." The only way you can make him be quiet is to give him something to eat. You give him some nice food stuff, give him some nice doggy food, and he'll be happy for a few minutes. You have to touch him through his senses. So, no, this original you, the soul, the part and parcel of Krishna, this is what you do best. You always think of Krishna. Always. without deviation. Not only can you do this, you don't have to learn to do it. Not only can you do it, but right now you're keeping yourself from doing it because we're trying to be something else. We're trying to be this personality that we have. Oh, look at me. I'm a software engineer. I am a Gujarati. Did you have a question? Yeah, go ahead. We are so convinced, we're so conditioned by the material energy, we fully believe it. We're so far from Krishna in our consciousness that at some point, it maybe even in this lifetime, we might have had doubts that there even was a God. And we might have been convinced at one point in this lifetime or another lifetime for sure, we might have been convinced that there is no God or that I am God. We are all God. How many times do you think we've gone through that story? Pretending that we're this when you're none of this. You are an expert lover of Godhead. You are expert. This is your dharma. This is what you do. And you're completely expert at it. Krishna doesn't have to train you. Now, here's how you love me. Here's how you show your love. He doesn't have to train you. He just needs to clear away the illusion that exists in your consciousness. And that illusion is thinking that you're something else or someone else. You're not anything but a perfect lover of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You're perfect. You're part and parcel of Him. He's the perfect lover, so are you. You're not designed to fail. Krishna doesn't design things to fail. You, as His part and parcel, are designed to always be successful. When it comes to worshiping Krishna and loving Krishna, you are designed to succeed. You're empowered to succeed. The only thing that can get in the way is when we start to think and believe that we're something else other than His most qualified, loving friend. You see? So we have to, this process of bhakti yoga that we're trying to perfect, again, we are already expert at it, but we have the interference in our minds that we're thinking we're something else. So as we perfect it and convince ourselves that I'm simply spirit soul, I'm simply Krishna's lover, I'm His loving servant, I'm empowered to serve Him on a level that I cannot even think of right now because of the interference from my thinking. But I'm empowered by the source of all power to be just that, the perfect friend, the perfect lover. You see? This is my dharma. This is what I do. And anything else is illusion. So the verse points this out. Those who do not take shelter of you who are never satisfied. So if you take shelter of Krishna and you desire material things, you'll get them. So what will you do if you get these material things and you're a devotee of Krishna? Probably engage them in your service to Krishna, right? What if Krishna gives you some fame? You desire fame, so Krishna gives you fame. More than likely, you're going to use that in Krishna's service. Or abandon it altogether if you don't need it. You know, like the touchstone. Who was it that had the touchstone? Sanatana Goswami. He had the touchstone. He had no need for it, so he threw it in the garbage. Why did he throw it in the garbage? Was it to be mean? No. It was like the peeling of a potato. When you peel the potato, you don't need those peels. You throw them in the compost heap. He had no need for this thing. If he didn't throw it away, it would be in the way. He would have to move it aside to do. So he thought, I don't need this thing. So the devotee is like that. You don't need. If you don't need it, you can't use it in your service, you're going to abandon it and forget all about it. It's not that you're going to hate it. You're just going to ignore it. You won't notice it. You don't need it. But if you don't see Krishna as your dearmost friend and ever well-wisher, and see yourself as his eternal servant, you'll never be satisfied, no matter what you get. No matter what you get, it's not going to satisfy you. We know this to be true, don't we? When we observe famous people that have so much fame and wealth, and they don't seem very happy, right? Sometimes they try so hard to be happy that they overdose on some drugs or do crazy things, you know. This is going on all the time. It's just that when somebody who's very famous, when they do it, then it hits the news and we all hear about it. But this is happening on lesser famous entities all the time. This is not a once in a while thing. This is common. One of the ways to enjoy to the fullest is through intoxication. That's what the material mind thinks. So if some is good, more has got to be better. And I need more because I wasn't satisfied. It doesn't work. You see? So even though if they don't take shelter of Krishna, they're never satisfied. The devotee, this is important. In the verse here, it mentions that the devotee of Krishna, and we're singing this in the Damodarashtakam prayer now. Every night we're singing. You know, the devotee gets to the point where we're not asking Krishna for liberation. It's okay. In the beginning, you should want to go back to Godhead. You should want that. Somewhere along the way, it's not going to become important to you. I just want to serve Krishna. And if you get service to Krishna, well, now you are liberated. You get seva to Krishna, you are liberated. You just have to continue doing it. You don't care what. Doesn't matter. I can't remember the exact quote. Prabhupada said that to serve Krishna in hell is heaven. To be in heaven without serving Krishna is hell. So the devotee doesn't mind. As long as I have the ability, the knowledge, and the desire to do my seva. then I'm liberated. I'm good. I've got it. I can do this eternally. I'm not asking you for anything, Krishna. I'm not asking you for liberation. If you want me to stay here doing what I'm doing, then that is fine with me. This activity that we're doing right now, hearing and speaking about Krishna, why, this is perfect. Couldn't we do this for eternity? Do you think that if we continue doing this for a long, long time, we'll actually see Krishna? Yes. We won't. We won't miss anything. I'm afraid that if I go back to Godhead, I'll try to manipulate the energy there for my sense gratification. You know, I'll find a nice, beautiful place in Gokul, and I'll say, "Oh, hey, that's mine," and I'll put a fence around it and put my name on it, and I say, "Krishna, the rest of this is yours, but this is mine." Why, look, it's got this beautiful lake of nectar, huh? It's got kalpavriksha trees. My piece of land in Gokul has more kalpavriksha trees than yours does. I could even start a business. See what I've done? I've put me in the center of Krishna's home. I've got to get to the point before I get there that I won't do that. So let me serve here or wherever Krishna directs me. Until he decides, all right, I want you to come back home. Balaram and I are waiting for you to come home. We're thinking it might be fun to have you here. So, all right. So are there any questions, comments? Yes, Prabhu.
It's nasty, it's inauspicious. What do we do in that case? Any practical tips?
Sometimes we may just have to chant louder, or we may just have to insist. We may have to tell our mind, this has got to stop. I'm not going to do this. I don't have to. My dear mind, you cannot force me. I am more powerful than you. But there's a part of us that still wants it. That's the problem. How much do we want it? So yeah, we're kind of split. It's like you're telling someone to go away, but you've got a hold of their kurta. You know? Just leave, get out of here. Well, Prabhu, let go of my kurta. Just leave. I want you to go. But you have to let go of me. You see? So we have to stop playing games with ourselves. We have to realize, no, I can send this away. It may be a struggle. It may not be easy. It may be tough. But I'm a tough guy. You are a tough guy. You're part and parcel of Krishna. You're that energy of Krishna, right? So who out there, what other energy is tougher than you? Is Maya tougher than you? I don't think so. We can't say, no, Maya's so, oh, Maya just keeps knocking me over. No, no, no. You want it. You know, she can only knock you over and push you around if you kind of want it. You see? If we say to Krishna with sincerity, Krishna, please protect me, what do you think Krishna's going to say? No, I want to see Maya kick you a little bit. Hey, Balaram, come here. Let's watch Maya kick him for a while. Krishna doesn't have to do that for fun. You know? Yeah, kick him harder, Maya. Kick. No, he doesn't want that. And Krishna knows you are strong enough to send her away. You know how to do this. You can chant my holy name loud enough. You can sincerely call upon my help. You're not a victim. You're victimizing yourself. And I'm here to help. Shuridam Sarvabhutanam. I'm your dearmost friend and ever well-wisher. The dearmost friend won't send Maya to tackle you. He may send her to tempt you. But if she wins in her attempt to trick you, then that's your fault. You know, there's some weakness there from desire. And it's okay if that happens. It's not that we should we should beat ourselves up, you know, that I fell for Maya's trick. No. When you're running the race and you fall down, you get back up, brush yourself off, get back in the race. When you're in the fight against Maya, if you get knocked down, you get back up and get back in the fight. We're empowered by Krishna to win. We're not empowered to lose. We're not depowered. You're part and parcel of Krishna. Whatever he has, you have. It's just he has bigger quantities. So, losing is not part of Krishna's nature. Neither is it yours. It's not part of your nature. You're a winner. And sometimes we just have to tell ourselves, I'm a winner. And what do winners do? They win. So I just have to convince myself that I don't want the nonsense. You know? But we're not victims. We're victims of ourselves. Is that a good answer? What else? Anybody else? Yes.
Prabhuji, you are saying that the inauspicious things which they may they come when we take shelter of service like that. So, however, sometimes it so happens that we may tend to take or try to take shelter of service, but they keep coming. They keep coming. So how do we? And if we don't deal with it, it may lead into an explosion also. So how do we handle that?
What keeps coming?
Inauspicious things, inauspicious thoughts.
Yeah, well, we're in an inauspicious world. There's danger at every step. This danger for us is inauspicious thoughts. You see? Yeah, it's going to keep coming. We just keep getting better. We keep getting better. We're in the fight against the material energy. We have to keep trying to win. The fight is not going to stop. We just have to become better warriors. And we can. That's our nature. We already are. We just have to develop some faith in Guru Krishna and ourselves. I can do this. It feels good to tell yourself, I can do this. I can win. When there's adversity from inauspicious things, you have to say, I can win. I can do this. I will win. And Krishna's got my back. Lord Nrsingadev has my back. I have so many powerful entities looking out for me. My dear Maya, if you knock me down, that doesn't mean I'm finished. I'll get right back up and I'll be right back in your face. You will not win. You will have to kill me. And you can't do that. Krishna says, never is there a time when I'll cease to be. So as long as I exist, I'll be fighting you, and I will win. So please, step aside with all due respect. You have to have that attitude. I'm prepared to go over, under, around, or through any impediment between me and my service to Guru and Krishna. I am an unstoppable force. You might be able to slow me down a little bit, but you cannot stop me, my dear Maya, with all due respect. I am a soldier empowered by Krishna. I'm empowered to fight you. And we all know what that means. I will win. And even though it might turn out to be a bloody fight, I'm prepared for that. So we have to think like that. We have to always think like that. Tell yourself. We don't want to think, oh, I'm so weak. Maya can come and kick me anytime. No. She may come, but it's going to be a bloody fight. She may think, well, I'm going to pick on somebody else. This guy's pretty tough. I mean, I'm supposed to go kick him, not him kick me. So maybe I'll find somebody else, who else? Maybe that guy back there. Oh, yeah, that guy looks like I can go kick him. But I can't even stand it when that guy looks at me. It's like, come on. Maya's not stupid. She's not going to say, oh, well, then I think I'll go let you beat me up. She doesn't want your kicks. You think you can't kick Maya? Come on, you're part and parcel of Krishna. What could Krishna do? In a fight between Krishna and Maya, who would win? So you're part and parcel of Krishna. In a fight between you and Maya, who's going to win? You're empowered to win. You can't lose. You just have to realize the potency that you have. And realize the potency that's behind you from doing this seva. Krishna will always protect us. But that doesn't mean that it'll be easy the rest of our lives. There's no promise that it's going to be easy street. Krishna doesn't make that promise. There'll be test after test, but you just get better and stronger, more and more prepared. And as you get tougher, you'll feel better about the whole thing. You'll have that attitude. Bring it on. I prefer peace. But my dear material energy, if you must attack me, go ahead, bring it on, because I'm ready. I'm ready. I don't want to fight, but I am prepared to. And you can't win. So always think about that. You're not empowered to lose. Who does Krishna empower to lose? Krishna empowers us all to win. We just have to accept the empowerment. So we have to see more and more the value of seeing Krishna happy. More and more we have to see that. Then we'll get more and more resolute determination to serve Krishna. And that's our biggest weapon, resolute determination to show our love for Krishna. Does that answer your question? Factually, if you apply the potency that you're given by Krishna, you cannot lose. You cannot be defeated. Krishna is never defeated, nor is his devotee is never vanquished. Okay, anything else? Let me go with him first and then you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. How did Sanatana Goswami get that touchstone? Is there any story behind that?
How did Sanatana Goswami what?
Get touchstone.
How did he get the touchstone? I don't remember. How did he get it? Does anybody remember? Somebody gave it to him, but I don't remember who. You know. He didn't always have it. Somebody gave it to him, but I don't remember who it was. I'll remember it later today, but right now I can't recall it. Why? Did you want to see about getting one for yourself? I don't think he got it on Amazon. You know, if you advertised on Amazon, you have Touchstone for 2,000 rupees, you'd probably sell a lot of them. You know, no return, and you pay the shipping. So, you know, I don't know. But I'll probably think of it later. That's the way my 75-year-old mind works sometimes. I can't recall, but it'll come to me later. Halfway to Mayapur. Oh, this is how it was. What about you?
Thank you, Maharaj. So, one thing initially in the beginning you brought out one point that in our mind there may be many inauspicious things going on, and also if you are fixed in some service, then the thoughts of service may also go on, and the inauspicious things it may become very easy to push them off. So, but one thing I have experienced that sometimes when there is too much of responsibilities or sometimes the pressure of service is too much, so then what happens is that the thoughts become so prominent that we lose our goodness, and then it becomes factually we lose our taste for hearing and chanting, and then only we are thinking of somehow getting the work done or how to do it, how to do this. Like it may be absorbed in so many thought process, but then at the end when we come to see that my morning program, my chanting, or when I'm reading books, at that time I'm not able to focus on it because all the time that same thoughts of service are haunting. So what is your suggestion about this state? Is it all right, or we have to get out of it, or how we can get out?
Well, sometimes we need to. These kind of things happen when we feel some distress. Maybe there's seemingly too much that we have to do, and it turns into a struggle. And there may not be too much that we for us to do, but maybe our minds are just getting tired. We're working our body and our mind too hard. Sometimes we need to back off a little bit. Sometimes you just need a little bit of downtime. Some what they say in the army, R&R, rest and relaxation. So maybe you need to go to Mayapur for a few days and have nothing you have to do. I tell a lot of people this when they ask similar question. You're experiencing what they call burnout. So you need to give it the opposite. What's causing the burnout? You're doing too much for too long a period of time. Sometimes you just need to take some time and go here and chant without having to be concerned about having to do anything. You see, Mayapur is a great place for that. Go there, go to the programs, walk across Mayapur while you chant. There's so much to do there. Evening programs, there's so many wonderful things that are going on. So it's good to take a little bit of time, a few days, a week. What does it take? I don't know. It's individual. But after a certain amount of time of just hearing and chanting, you'll feel more and more eager to get back into your seva. You see? You'll know when it's time. So, and that's practical. We all need to do that from time to time. Just to give the mind a little peace. Just go here and chant. Have nothing that you have to do. One thing that I always found attractive about Vrindavan and Mayapur, Puri, is just walking and chanting. Walk all the way, all as far as you can, around and around. Just walk, 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 chant. Just feel it. Just be there while you're hearing the holy name, chanting. Try to avoid getting into conversations and just walking and chanting. And that's always been really nice to help me unwind. So I suggest that. You just need a little bit of, you need some shanti. Shanti, shanti, shanti. And then you'll be ready for seva, seva, seva. You'll come back charged up, ready to go. And people will be telling you, slow down, slow down. You'll get recharged, ready to go back at it. So give that a shot, see if that works. Mayapur is good. Puri is good. Vrindavan is good. Govardhan is excellent to go on a retreat like that. So there's many places that we can go. Go as a spiritual tourist, just to go see and to hear and chant. Does that sound like a good plan? You could do that, couldn't you? Yeah. All right. Anything else? Okay, last one.
Prabhu, can you share last 20, 30 years, like you have been in movement for more than 45 years, almost 45 years. So what are your regular practices of daily sadhana? Like how much time you spend reading Bhagavatam and how you hear Prabhupada lectures, or like every day how you spend?
It keeps changing. Mayapur used to be a place, India used to be a place where I could come and have nothing to do. So now there's more seva. Some places there's more seva, some there's less. Sometimes there's more at one place and then at less, but then more again. So I just try to chant extra rounds. I don't know how many, but I try to chant extra rounds and read more than I normally would. But then that depends on what service opportunities are there. I'm not going to turn down service so that I can read. I'm just going to have to read more. You know. I remember Tamal Krishna Maharaj tells the story that he told Prabhupada he was doing so much service. He said, Prabhupada, I'm not able to read your books because I'm doing so much service. And it was true. He was doing so much. And I'm not able to read an hour a day. Do you know what Prabhupada said? Prabhupada said, sleep less. Prabhupada didn't say, oh, poor, pitiful you. Oh. Sleep less. You want to read my book? Sleep less. Don't back away from your seva. Handle it. Deal with it. You know? So sometimes we just have to do that. Just deal with it. It's going to be what it's going to be. When we're chanting Hare Krishna, we're begging Krishna for service. So then he gives us a lot of service, and we say, oh, Krishna, I don't have time to chant Hare Krishna. Krishna's going to say, you're confusing me. What is it that you want? You're asking for service. I give you service, then you want to chant. Oh. So if you get so much service that you can't read extra, be thankful. Sometimes you have to manage, you know. So sometimes you might actually have to sleep less. And then after a long time of that, you might have to go to Mayapur to rest up. Sleep more. So I'm not able to always have the exact same schedule. I have to be flexible because it changes from depending on where I am. And if I'm one place for a long time, I can kind of get into a particular schedule, somewhat anyway, but not always. All right. Thank you all so very much. It's been a pleasure being here. I'm going to be back as soon as I don't know if I'll be able to come. Maybe I'll come later this month, later in November for a visit. Uh, maybe in early December. But I'm going to try to come once a month while I'm in India. If you'll let me. And yeah, we'll get to spend time together. So I'm here until mid-March. I may extend that. I'm not sure. But yeah, until mid-March. So I'm going to try once a month. So let's see if we can make that happen. But you have to give me some service, you know. Otherwise, I'll just come here and walk around and chant and read. So, all right. Thank you so much. It's so good to be back in Newtown. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.